up, Crew Excellence? It's your favorite host, man, and I am so excited to be sitting here with one of my big homies, the OG, one of my mentors, and he's gracing the podcast with his excellence, with his ability to articulate complicated issues and his experience, which I am just honored to not only share this space with him, but really to do life on life with him for the past decade, honestly. Like, it's been crazy. The time went by fast.
Yeah.
I was a youngin' when I met Pops, man. And I just want to take this time out to tell you, hey, if you don't know who he is, then this is going to be a wonderful experience for you. And if you do, you already know what it is. All right. You already know what we're getting. And so I want to take time to introduce Adrion Pops Roberson to my audience. I'm so happy. I've been trying to get him to come over for a minute. I'm happy to have him on today.
Yes, sir.
Pops, 3 facts that you want people to know about you. Just anything, random fact.
I love the Lord.
Okay.
I got the most beautiful wife on the planet.
All right.
And God is good.
Amen. 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 And so for me, we always have different things for the episodes. And Pops being here, if you know Pops, you know we're talking about community development. You know we're talking about community leadership. You already know. And if you're new to this, Adrion Pops Roberson has been doing community development for decades in Wyandotte County, where he's from, where I'm from. Hey, Wyandotte.
Yes,
we in the building, man.
Right.
And so I've learned a lot from being in rooms with him, from having conversations with him, from seeing him work and operate. Over the past 10 years, I've seen him maneuver and take left and take right and just expand his ability to impact people. And so I want to give you your flowers and say you are an amazing man of God first, but also a community pillar. And
thank you, sir. Thank you.
You hear about those kind of guys, you read books about those kind of guys, but I have the opportunity to know one of those guys. And I am, it's been a privilege, honestly, to sit under you and for you to open doors for me. You've invited me in the room I had no business being in. But because you said, hey, this little bro, he got something with him. Yeah. They've opened the door and said, man, sit down and shut up. Don't say nothing, but you can be here. And so I appreciate you for doing that. And so I want to jump into it. This is a leadership podcast. So
yes, sir.
What we do is we take all these different issues, all these different situations, and we want to look through it from a lens of leadership.
Absolutely.
And so, one, I would love for you to take a minute out to give your background as a leader. So talk to them, tell them how you Maxwell certified. Let's run through the list. Give them your resume, right? And then we're going to jump into some of my questions I got for you, and we'll run from there.
Yes, sir. I am, first of all, again, it's an honor to be here with you. Justin is a son. He's not like a little brother. He's like one of my kids. His last name just ain't Robinson. You know what I mean? But it might as well be him and his wife. So thank you for having me. It all started for me back in the 90s at Hallmark Cards.
Okay.
This seasoned Caucasian lady, she said, I don't like you. She said, but you have some crazy leadership tendencies. Real, and this is like at a point in my life when I was really going through personally. She said, I want you to train my new hires. And I looked at her like, back then it was, blank the police and, all that cube and, and so I started training new hires. And it was crazy because next thing I knew, my life just went in this direction of human resources and training. Then about 6 years in, it shifted into this leadership component.
Got you.
And I was a director, and I got a couple of directorship training positions. And then in 2008, we had a group called the Kansas Leadership Center. Yep. But before then, we had a few Wyandotte initiatives where I was chair, board chair, president, Connect the Dots. That was out at JUCO.
Yeah.
And Connect the Dots, we ran into Kansas Leadership Center, and they came to this meeting, and it was 4 European folks and a room full of us. And we got this new way of training adaptive leadership. We was like, okay, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
And we were 2 hours into it, and one of my mentors, who was a pastor, got up, cussed everybody out, walked out the room. I said,
what just happened?
What? And my mind is like, okay, so what did y'all? He wham, slammed out the door. I'm like, for real? So it was one of the most intense trainings that I had gone through, and I was curious. So I started, questioning, okay, what is Kansas Leadership Center? So for about 2-3 years, I was going through their intro leadership piece.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get it. I just couldn't get it. But some in the back of my mind said, well, you know, I'm really interested. I think I can flow a little bit. And at that time, their team was really pale.
Yeah.
And y'all need some flavor.
Melanin challenge.
The negative zero. And so I remember having lunch with, she's my mentor now, Julia Favors McBride. And she said, so meet me at Panera. So we went to meet Panera's. She said, no, we got a couple positions open. She said, are you interested? I said, interested in what? And she wrote it like a G. She wrote it on the napkin and slid it to me.
Yeah.
She said, as a facilitator. I said, oh, okay. So what's the number? She said, that is the number. I said, what do you want me to do?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Because you must be asking.
I looked at that number.
Yeah.
I said, you just want me to talk? She said, I want you to teach. I had never made that kind of money. And I just sat there stunned. And she said, is that a yes? Yes, ma'am. She's okay. So we've been flowing ever since. So now I've been there. Now I'm considered one of the oldies,
That's
you know.
crazy.
And
That's dope.
man, they sent me to Harvard in 2017 for a week.
How was that? How was Harvard, man?
Man.
Is it as different?
Man, come on, man. We ain't got no subways around here. You know, I'm claustrophobic. I'm sitting on the train like this, like, just give me just the red line. So we finally got to the end. Dude, I said, man, where's Harvard? He said, go up them steps. He said, so I go up the steps, about halfway up, I start to smell of weed. I said, oh, I'm back home. You know? So I go up the steps, and it just went, whoo.
Yeah.
It was Harvard.
Wow.
And I just stood there for about at least 30 minutes, like,
Man, just taking it in.
I kept hearing, I'm just a kid from the dot. I'm just this, that's all I kept hearing. And so for an entire week, I was in a room with 55 world leaders.
Wow.
I met the leader of the World Bank from Bangladesh. I met so many people, man. And the gentleman who trained us was the father of adaptive leadership.
Wow. So he's the one who came up with it.
They took us through some stuff, man. It was like, he didn't care. First man, like, whoa, what is you talking about? But by the time we got to the end, and I remember calling my wife because I had to walk back to my hotel, which was on this campus. Yeah. And I called my wife and I said, babe, I ain't supposed to be here. She said, what is you talking about? So I told her, she said, call me back when you got something to talk about. Click. I'm like, oh, 7 days in, got the certificate, man. I met people from around the planet, brother. And it was just this amazing thing. And then KLC offered me that opportunity. And so I've gone through all the KLC classes. I've gone through all the CLPs. But in the midst of all that, John Maxwell was my mentor. And for, I'd say, at least 25 years, I've just been reading his material, listening to his stuff. And last year, it was like, I was like, Lord, I want to meet John Maxwell. This is my bucket list. I want to meet John Maxwell. I want to meet Tony Evans. Those two had been like my mentors. Yeah. And last year, my wife made it happen. And we went to John Maxwell, and I saw some things that I don't have enough time to tell you about. And I mean, he is so that dude. So I went to see John Maxwell, and then we went to, I'm planning on going back and getting my master's, went to Regent University. And we pull up on Regent University in Virginia Beach, and I saw TBN. I'm like, TBN? What is that? Why is that here? So we go inside, and they've got this booklet that says, A Relentless Obedience to God. And it had Pat Roberts on there. Okay. So I'm like, why is he in here? They was like, well, he started this college. He did what? Yeah, he started TBN. He did what? Wow. So now I'm really tripping. So we out walking on the campus, and just in my conversation with the Lord, I'm like, okay, Lord, all this came out of his head. He said, no, son, it came out of his heart. And I had to just pause, like, because it just hit me like, oh. So John Maxwell, Tony, Pat Roberts. Then in October last year, I got to go to Tony Evans. And bruh, it's one thing to listen to that man. It's another thing to be in his presence. Yeah. I seen with my own 4 eyes what God will do through a person who is relentlessly obedient to him. I didn't say perfect. Yeah. I'm talking about, I saw the economic side of ministry. I saw the educational side of ministry, starting the school. I saw the business side, and he stood flat-footed and was like, if it ain't this, we ain't doing it. Yeah. Just like John Maxwell. Boom, 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 boom. I came back, man, and usually when I go to those types of conferences and I come back, you come back to the dot, you be like, ugh. Because it's hard. I mean, there is a principality or principalities generationally that is so ingrained in Wyandotte County, in the Northeast, well, just let's say Northeast especially, where I see why people just get tired. It's like they come in, rah, rah, and because there's no connection, because there's this real strong spirit of what do you want to call it? Separatism, sectarianism, just all that. You know, it's like I'm talking amongst us, let alone the system of us in the community. It's like he just does this. He just lets you do this till you get tired, and he push you out on the hanger. Next thing you know, all right, Pops, I'm out. I can't. 2 handfuls of preachers out there came into Wyandotte County easy. Okay, let's get together. Woo, woo, woo. Gone. Yeah. Because that thing, whatever that thing is in Wyandotte County, and for real, if you're really sensitive to the Lord, and you're like, okay, God, I'm here. No matter how you come into Wyandotte County, whether it's I-70, 635, however, when you come across that line, you feel this heaviness.
Oh, yeah. You know you're in the city. Yeah.
What is that? What is that? So, and then just living the block, man. We run KC United, and KC United's been going on for 15 years now. And
that's so fire.
We were at Clam Park, man. We were coaching back at Clam Park, and this lady said, "You got a church?" I'm like, "No, no church." Yeah. And I said, "Man, the church is where your feet are." And it was really weird. Like, our theme now is 10 toes down. Yeah. Where you at? You the church. Yeah. Just because you're in the building don't mean da-da-da. Yeah. So, and now we're doing after school. We're doing the after school reading and math and the physical activity. We've got the summer STEM camp. Yeah. Summer STEAM camp, which you and your wife were a part of when we first kicked that out back in the day. We got the fall sports league, which is off the chain. Yeah. And then we got the component, which is game changers, which are the parents of the kids participating. And God has put a vision in our minds. I'm not going to say it here, but there's a vision that God has given us to we're the forerunner of the rising of the remnant. So just like I believe you're a part of that. There are people that God is calling in Wyandotte County, no matter Hades or high water. Yeah. We believe the Lord. And so that means for me, my role is to pour. My role is to pour and to give Justin and so that he can reach a generation I can't meet or others like him where they can go, you know what? Okay. And then I get fed vice versa. Yeah. So that's why we invited you on the podcast. Like Pop's Corner. Excited, yeah. You know what I mean? Like I said, y'all, I said, little bro got it going on. Then you met Coach Greg and he's like, man, I like him. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. So it's and now that I'm 63, I realize I don't have the same amount of time that I had before I got to 63. Yeah. My coach pulled me to the side. He said, how old are you now? 63. He said, so what's up? I said, what you mean? He said, what's next? What you mean? He said, what's the plan? He said, because you don't have the same amount. And I love coaches who coach me straight. I went home, got on Google. How many seconds are in 63 years? How many minutes? And I started writing numbers down, and I was flabbergasted. Like, now the initial was, dang, I wasted a lot of time. And I'm telling you, it was like the Lord said, no, you take the time that I give you. Redeem the time. I heard that so clear. Redeem the time. So I'm not the out front person. I want to see Justin do his thing. I want to see Chandra do her thing. I want to see this next level. We gotta raise new voices in Wyandotte County. Yeah. I love the ones that we got. Yeah. I like to see them strengthened, and we gotta raise new voices. We gotta raise voices, folks who can think adaptively about leadership and not have this technical way of fixing things. Yeah. So that's probably it in a nutshell.
No, that's dope, man. I've known you for a while. I never knew you worked at Hallmark. I knew Wifey did, but I didn't know you worked at Hallmark too. Yeah. And that's so interesting how like little stuff like that can push you on a trajectory towards growing and learning.
And I tell people when I hear this, push back against quote unquote white people, because I hate labels. Yeah. Folks say, I don't use the word black. Yeah. Because to me, this is black. Yeah. So if I look at a box of crayons, I'm brown. Yeah. So if I'm brown, what does that make my Hispanic brothers? I hate labels. Yeah. And so the quote unquote Caucasian lady, Mert Tuttle, she was the one of 5 Caucasian women who saw something in me in training. Wow. Hear what I just said? Yeah. 5 Caucasian women Adrian, do this. What you doing? Get yourself together. So I don't be trying to hear this.
Yeah.
White folks this, da-da-da-da. God will put certain people in your life to where you can't be stuck in this technical way of thinking. And that's what I want for our people, that if we quit trade, when everybody's running, don't run. Wait, why are we running? Mm-hmm. That's adaptive thinking. Mm-hmm. Critical thinking means you pivot. And so just trying to get us to pivot as a people and say, wait a minute, put the car in park. Why are we going down this versus, grandma, great-grandma did it, grandma did it.
Yeah. That can't be the only reason.
No, that can't be. So I want to bring some. That's a gift for you.
Oh, show the camera. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the book we're coming out of on Pop's Corner, and then that's what we're coming out of. And
this is lovely.
That's that's dope. That's for you, man. And so
thank you. I just finished the book, so I'll need some new ones. I love reading, and so this is my question because. It's a difference. Like, I know a lot of people that are in corporate leadership. They become executives, they become principals at schools even, or they move up in ranks of different companies.
Yes, sir.
Why do you think that when they put you into leadership at Hallmark, why did that bleed into you working in the community? Like, why did you just not become the director of the Midwest at Hallmark and you off in a condo with wifey chilling? Why did you feel a need to come back to the community and impact your community?
That's a great question. My oldest son, Dre, was playing football. Mm-hmm. And his coach, I'm standing on the sideline. I've never coached in my life. I just played baseball all my life. But my son was there, and he said, I need some coaches. And he came over to me, and he said, would you mind helping me? I said, what does that mean? Mm-hmm. Just come here, da-da-da-da-da, woo-woo-woo. Yeah. That was 30-some years ago.
Wow.
So it started
with just someone asking.
Me. And, I'm a dot, man. I mean, I got you. If you're from the dot, I got you. Just as long as you ain't tripping. You wilding.
I feel that.
You get yourself together. We can talk. But it was that, man. And then just watching how that brought my family in. I mean, I coached all my nephews. Mm-hmm. My nieces was cheerleaders. My brother-in-laws was coaches. Yeah. And it just became this Stony Point became this spot where we had it looked like heaven. Yeah. And we was dominating out there at 3-2, out there off 100. Man, we had some rivalry with Piper what was off the chain.
That's dope.
And so, but we looked like heaven. And it was just, and I was nowhere near where I am now mentally or spiritually. Mm-hmm. And it just started to bleed over into these other aspects. Gotcha. And the teaching and the training was the part that I think that just really caught me and started making those pieces come together. So I began to hear people differently. Mm-hmm. Instead of just judging, well, that's why you're there. Nah, you got to meet people there.
Something else, yeah.
Yeah. So, for example, we're working out in Gateway and met this mom. She had 4 kids. She wanted to play on the football team. Okay, cool. And once we did the conversation with, from great-great-grandma, grandma, mama, now her. And the question was, okay, baby girl, I'm like, yeah, hey, Pops, in and out. I said, why are you here? She says, what else is there? Hurt me to my heart. Hurt me to my heart. Like, God has something. And I just stopped. The Lord said, stop, just listen. And she was just, it's how it is. Yeah. Okay. When I looked around, I thought, we got to do something different. Yeah. That's when the Lord was like, okay, this is where y'all need to be. Gateway. Mm-hmm. Gateway changed it, dude. Mm-hmm. Gateway. You need a case in point to see if you're a believer? Yeah. I tell folks all the time, what's the men's shelter over Missouri?
City Union.
Work the City Union. Mm-hmm. You want to see if you're a believer or not? Mm-hmm. Work somewhere like that. You want to see if you're a believer or not? If you really got that call and you said, go ye therefore, go into those tough places.
And do life.
Yeah. And it will make you going to get cooked or you going to cook. Yeah. And it's just this, it's like, and the Lord knows, what you can stand, but he gives you this heart of compassion. Yeah. And you can't sleep at night. Yeah. There's got to be more. Lord, how do we get people out of this poverty mindset? Mm-hmm. Like, what is that? And then you find out again scripturally, you're not wrestling against flesh and blood.
Yeah. You got a different battle. Yeah.
And all that stuff that's in the book, you have to, if you're gonna cook, then you got to bring those utensils with you into the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that keeps you from writing folks off.
Yeah.
And there were a bunch of times, as you already know, working in the community, you want to quit.
Yeah.
Because our people something else.
That's true.
I'm going to look at the camera, but look, they something else.
It's true. And they be fighting against you.
Bro,
It's like,
that
bro,
system.
we on the same team.
That system. That's what KOC talking about. These different, we gonna inject you into these different systems. But then I'm looking at our system like, y'all know we better than this, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was just this evolving thing, and now it's to the point where the kingdom. How do we bring the kingdom to the culture?
Yeah.
And so with the time I got left, that's what I want to do.
That's the mission.
That's the mission. Bring the kingdom to the culture.
I love that. And so, like, because like what I heard is you say, like, I had a heart for my city, and then the more I developed and was trained and learned, it pushed me into leading in my city. And so that's what this whole podcast is about.
Yeah.
Is equipping leaders.
Yeah.
Because I know, so it's my ideal or my belief that everyone is a leader in some capacity. And so this whole podcast is about my whole company is about equipping everyone so that they can lead in whatever capacity God calls them to lead.
And that's what we talk about is building, because my company is a Destiny Consulting, BHC. BHC is building human capacity.
Yep.
My goal for my life is here's Justin. How do I help Justin expand his capacity just a little bit? Even at KLC, we talk about your bandwidth. How do we expand your bandwidth just a little bit so that the people and situations you're in, you get to impact more people in more situations. So that's what I saw Jesus do.
Yeah.
So, they keep saying 2,000 years ago, wherever the years was. Look where we are now.
Yeah.
And 12 cats.
Flip the world upside down.
Flip the script, and now it's our turn. So how many people can we impact while we're here for his glory and to grow the kingdom and change the culture at the same time?
Yeah. No, I think we're mission aligned.
Yeah,
that's why we've been together for so long.
Yeah.
We are aligned for sure.
Yeah.
So my question is, if you had 3 qualifications, I got some guys, I got some girls who want to be leaders in the community, who are like, hey, it's my turn, I'm ready.
Yeah.
What are 3 things that you think 3 attributes you think they all should have?
They got to have a why.
Okay. So you have a reason.
It's got to be that thing that keeps you up at night. It's got to be that. Is it dog? What movie was that? Every day it got up. It was the same thing. Not Dog Day Afternoon, but I can't think of the name. But every time he woke up, it was the same time. Click. For folks who are like, it ain't never gonna change.
Yeah.
You got to get to that point to where I'm the one to make it change. You got to have a why. My coach told me, he says, number 2, you got to have a burden.
Got you.
He says, Tony Evans said this, your burden should drive your vision. He said, stop looking for the vision because visions fizzle.
Yep.
He said, but when you got something that eats at you, that makes your why have roots. And now all of a sudden, then you're looking at your gifts. Number 3, okay, you look at your gifts. What are you good at? How can those gifts tie into this burden to make this vision come to pass? So it's your why, burden, gifts. You gotta know your gifts.
Got you. I love that because I love the way that stacks, and it's almost like you do this, right? You talk about leadership a lot. No, but that's true. And that's one thing that I tell people all the time is like, because if you're right, if you just have a why, you get tired.
Yeah.
And we've seen it. I got a lot of homies that started off in community development, started off in ministry, started off in those areas, and they're not doing that no more.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say whether that's corporately, like they have different jobs, or even personally, they're not in those rooms, they're not in those spaces, they're not. That's not their burden.
Yeah,
they've passed it off because they got tired.
And if I could add a 4th one, you can't do it by yourself.
Yeah,
you will get ate up with. I mean, it ain't even a game. I mean, you got to have people around you who are your errands, not yes folks. No. Like if Justin sees me, whether we got an age difference, whatever, but our relationship is so to where I would hope if Justin saw me wilding out, he'd be like, dude, what you doing? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I know he's possibly can't say, man, please, you better stop. Yeah. You can't do it alone. Yeah. For a believer, you got to you got to know who you are and whose you are. Yeah. And that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. No, I love that. And then, so this is my question, because I think, so being from Wyandotte and being around Wyandotte, Wyandotte's a town. And for a lot of times, that means it's just leadership moves slow. And the fact not only in enacting change or impacting change, but in passing the baton. And so how do we go about for all my people watching that are in community development or want to impact their own communities wherever you're watching from, what are some tips that you can give us to raise up new leaders? How do we get that new blood, that new perspective into our communities?
That question is so loaded because that's a segment by itself, and I'm saying that because there's generationally things going on in the dot to where some folks are trying to hold on for relevance. So, but you can't. When we talk at KLC, we talk about factions, and when you got these huge challenges, how do you get these factions to the table that you normally wouldn't be to the table with? So first of all is having the mindset to have conversations,
Gotcha.
But not just conversations for talking,
Yeah.
conversations to make progress.
Yeah.
Notice I didn't say to fix it.
No.
Because the challenges that we have did not happen overnight.
Yeah.
So for me, do I expect to see Nirvana and everything flip before I die? No. But what I do hope is that the seeds that can be planted in starting these conversations, like April 27th, we're starting the Broderick Crawford KLC KCK Community Leadership Program in honor of my man's Broderick Crawford.
Yeah.
And it's there to introduce people to the KLC competencies, just to introduce, not just to come and have a meeting because it's Broderick, but look, y'all, we need to get new people around the table. And there are people out there doing the work, but they're doing it by themselves. So how do
Silo.
So how do we, and then being able to speak the truth.
Yeah.
One of the things our people struggle with, my interpretation, is truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
When
Especially objective truth. Yeah.
when the system has shown that it loves for us to be at each other. I'm not coming to that if such and such is there. I'm not coming. You're playing into it, right?
Yep.
And when we have a history that shows, I'm just talking about us.
Yeah.
We have a history that shows when we come together,
We can do some stuff.
bro, we dangerous. That system knows that. So when we play into this can't stand Candace, she can't come back to the culture. Well, I don't want to be part of that culture.
Yeah.
She has a right to have her voice.
Yeah.
You have your voice. It used to be like that. So being able to have ears to listen, being able to manage yourself in such a way that I can sit across the table from someone I don't necessarily get along with, but I need you here to help me because we got the same challenges.
Yeah.
How am I diagnosing? How am I diagnosing this situation differently? What am I observing? What are my interpretations of what I'm observing? And then how do I intervene in that? And if I have more interpretations than one, because just one interpretation is your opinion. I don't want your opinion.
No.
Our opinion
Because we need to focus.
That's right.
We need to focus. Because if it's just your opinion, now it becomes about you.
That's right. And if we're talking about changing the culture, whatever that is, we have to have some tough conversations about our culture.
Yeah.
Then when we talk about intervening skillfully, energizing others, then how do I energize Justin? How do I energize someone else who may look like me, not look like me, to say, you know what? Maybe we got different values and different loyalties, but we got the same challenge right here. Yeah. And it's not going to change unless we find a way to do it. And you sit there and then you, like I said, you come up with these interventions. Yeah. If it don't work, boom, why quit? No, you can't quit.
No. Yeah.
That's just it. The system that we can't see loves it when we quit.
Yeah.
And we are good at quitting.
Yeah.
Soon as the heat gets hot, I quit. Soon as I don't like you, I quit. Soon as they don't do something that I want them to do, we quit.
Gone. Yeah.
Next thing we know, you move from the block. I ain't mad at you. I get it though. Or we just can't do this and your voice goes silent. Yeah. So I believe it's being able to recognize first, I am here to lead. And you are. Hear me. You are here to lead, which means more than likely you're going to get used to being by yourself. Yeah. Because you have a different way of thinking. Yeah. You're thinking critically. Yeah. When you can get people in the community start thinking more critically, not Republican, not Democrat, not BLM, not none of that. But when we can come together and start thinking more critically about the common good, then that 300 folks will probably be like Gideon.
Yeah.
Find you someone's going to lap water like you would. right?
Yeah.
Because no, you ain't ready. He gets to 300. What I'm supposed to do?
Yeah.
Take them.
Now go to work.
And then find them twos and fews that'll share that walk with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, lastly, you got to be ready to bring up them next ones.
Yeah.
Because I don't know of any movement that started with seasoned folks. It started with young people.
College students.
Bruh.
They be college students.
Bruh.
They be having the energy.
Bruh. I ain't got that kind of energy no more.
Yeah, and they in fake life, so they go to class, they get out at 11, they ain't got nothing else to do. Let's go turn up.
How about that?
Yeah, let's go fight the establishment.
And let's fight the establishment, and you do it in a way that's respected.
Yeah, let's organize it.
But you're going to respect me in the way that I do it.
Yeah, let's impact.
And next thing you know, you're running for commissioner. You're running for school board. You're running for mayor. You're running for KCC, or you're starting something that builds up community and families and young people.
Yeah.
That's one of the challenges I have with our UG.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
But what's infrastructure? What does that have to do with our young people?
Yeah.
What is that? How do you help Justin get where he's trying to get? And you see he's out there doing his work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I love our mayor. I love all that. And if you're not looking for a way to raise these young people up, they're gonna leave and take all that knowledge
for sure
and take it to another city.
And so
anyway, I'm on
because no, I mean that's why I brought you here for. You're doing what you get paid the bucks to do. No, but that's happened athletically in KCK right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is we had a certain superintendent who didn't like that students went to our schools and enjoyed sports more than they enjoyed academics.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were very intentional in not investing in athletics.
Yeah.
In their mind, they were investing in academics. But what happened is all of the great athletes of old, of the 90s, of your generation, of the generation right above me, they took their kids and went somewhere else.
No, they did.
Because we don't have the facilities, we don't have the coaches, we don't have the traditions anymore. We were talking about this online the other day. It was a time where if you didn't get to games early, you couldn't get in.
I went to Wyandotte. If you went there at 5:30,
you got to go to the JV game.
You had to go to the JV game. You had to come to the pit.
Yeah, and
it was on and popping.
And so, I remember my senior year, we played Miege at home. It sold out during freshman. During a freshman game, they were turning parents away. Like, hey, we ain't got no more space. The fire marshal gonna shut us down.
That part.
And so, and everybody wants to play in that. Everybody wants to play in that. And so the fact that we didn't invest in our young people in that capacity, they were like, cool, I'm just gonna take my young people somewhere else. And so I don't want that to happen with our leadership structure. I don't want it to be a leadership vacuum.
Yeah. And
I want us to stay. I want us to be committed.
I'm gonna tell you, son, that's what the system wants.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wants a leadership vacuum.
Yeah.
They'll huff and they'll puff and they ain't gonna blow down nothing.
No. Yeah.
So you're so what you just did was what we call diagnosing the situation. You observed certain leadership behaviors. Mm-hmm. Your interpretation was they wanted more academics than they did with sports versus it being balanced. Mm-hmm. And the only intervention was to keep doing what you're doing. And what they did and what happened was a great number of our athletes leaving, let alone not updating facilities. They go out to Miege, they go out to Blue Springs, and they're like,
whoa,
look
at this.
Plus the academics. Mm-hmm. So we've been doing a lot of work with Bishop Ward. Yeah. Bishop Ward gave us the key. Yeah. He was like,
you want to come work here?
So they give us the fields, all that. All of a sudden, Bishop Ward said, what grade are they in? 8th. Think they might come here? I mean, we're trying to rebuild I'm like, are you serious? Next thing I know, kids are getting scholarships to Bishop Ward. Here's the thing. So, didn't you go to Wyandotte? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So why you working for them? Wait a minute. I'm a dot, dude.
Yeah, I'm working. Is Bishop Ward not in? Is it not in the city?
What are you not observing?
Yeah.
And then let's look at the whole product.
Yeah.
Graduation rates. Mm-hmm. Not saying Bishop Ward is all perfect. I'm not saying that at all. I am saying there are some substantial differences there. If 100%. I ask a parent,
100%,
Justin, your son, 8th grade, balling, they want to give him a scholarship, and she get a great education. 90+% graduation rate. Over here, we struggling. Yeah. What you gonna do? And you a dot all day.
Yeah.
You a saber all day. Yeah. Man, look, I love you.
Yeah.
And so do I want to see the district come up? Absolutely. The work his dad is doing, the idea he got. Oh my God, Coach Collins got it. Blue. You know what I mean? But you have to have different people who think differently about the expansion of that part of the city. Yesterday we went to home fields.
Yeah.
Went out there and visited that joint. That's the answer.
That thing cold. That thing cold.
And for KC United, we're looking at it like he says, I need to partner with y'all. What you mean? Y'all do stuff different than what we do, and we want those kids to be able to come here and get this college level prep. I'm like, oh my God! So we literally walked out of that meeting at home fields. The owner was like, he said, I'm the owner and I'm the president. We ain't got no board. He said, tell me what you need, what you want.
Yeah. Well, let's get to work.
Bro, and we've been doing this work for 15 years. And I love the school district, but it was a fight. Yeah. It took a new sports to get the fields. Yeah. But I'm thankful now. But this guy came in, boom, let's make it happen here in Wyandotte County. Yeah. Okay, God, what we doing? Yeah. So getting people to change their minds, that what you just talked about, like, and take those that'll go with you. Yeah. Those that's fighting like fish, okay, I'm going to kick the dust off my feet. I don't have time. Because if I go with 2 or 3, because I think Justin's always been a big picture person. Yeah. Okay, Justin, everybody ain't going with you. I done figured it out. Everybody ain't going to heaven. That hurts me to my heart. But the ones or 2 or 3 that can cross your path, that you can pour into, that they may go, wow, man, Justin, man, if it hadn't been like the young brother you following is playing college ball, he'll look back on this 10 years from now and be like, Justin ain't asking for no cheese. He ain't asking to be standing there when the contract pop. He just wants you to know, man, I love you, man. Do your do. Yeah. So that's what, and adjusting your mindset that you take the ones that he give you. Yeah. If it ain't 2 or 3, and they may fall off, that's okay. Take the one that you got and walk hand in hand. Now that's discipleship. That's ministry. That's Christ-like, loving that person, pouring everything you got as he pours into you. Yeah. So that whole thing that, like you said with the district, I see it, but you know what? Something gonna change. Oh yeah. And we got this group, and that's why we're doing this KLC thing. Okay, whoever that is, y'all need to come. Yeah. We're just planting the seeds. Then we're gonna take you to phase 2. Then we're gonna take you to phase 3. Then eventually, what we're hoping is somebody said, well, how do I run for commissioner? How do I run for school board? I'm glad you asked. Yeah. How do I run for da-da-da-da-da? Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think that's it.
No, I love that. And so, we've been kicking it. This has been a great episode. And so I want to make sure that I give you a chance to close. And so I would love for you, I got people watching, they really want to impact their community.
Amen.
And they have a heart for the people. They're educated. They just looking for how. Yeah. And so if I'm watching the pod and I'm like, yo, OG been doing it for a minute. How do I impact my community? You got 1 minute to answer that question.
First of all, thank you for having me on. And for those who have that heartbeat, I thank God for you because it's answered prayer for me. Because my question has been, Father, where they at? So this conversation is blessing me beyond what you would know. Number 2, there are those of us here who want to pour into you. You need to know that not everybody that you've seen, you go like, there's some that you don't know. Like, I don't mind not being known. Let the work speak for itself. That's number 2. Number 3, let's get together. I want to hear myself, and I can think of a couple other folks that roll with me. Yeah. How do we help you get from point A to A1, A to A2, and then let's make a commitment. Because my thing is, my word is my bond. I'm trying to do better with that, Justin. My word, I haven't always done good with that. At this stage of my life, my word is my bond. If I'm telling you we're gonna roll, hold me accountable and let's roll. Yeah. And so let's get together. Let Justin know. Let's come together. Yeah, Justin know we break bread. I love to break bread, as you can tell. No, the camera ain't showing you the whole show.
You slim on camera. You slim.
Yeah, thank
you
God.
Slim on camera.
Thank God. But for those who Justin said has got this heart, if you're serious, holler at me, and I will change my schedule to bring a group of young individuals together to say, okay, OG, show me what you got.
Yeah.
But just come ready to work.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Just come ready to work, and let's watch God change the trajectory of Wyandotte County from the inside out. Last thing, they asked Jesus, what good can come out of Nazareth? They've been saying that same thing about Wyandotte County. How long? Maybe you're the person to say, I can show you, but I can tell you. But when we do it together, I'm telling you, enemy ain't got nothing coming. So that's what I'd say.
No, that's dope. That's super dope. I hope that y'all got something from that and from this in general. I'm floored. I had an idea how good this was going to be. Exceeded expectations by far. Man, I'm honored that I got like you go, like you assistant coach at the NBA game. Like, man, I just got a really good seat to watch LeBron go crazy. I'm just a favorite Crew Excellence member getting the best seat in the house watching LeBron do work. And so I'm honored to have shared this space with you, this time, this moment in history. And if you're in Crew Excellence and you're wondering how to get in touch with Pops, it's going to be links in the description. Hit him up. Tune in to Pop's Corner. That's his podcast. It's on Monday. It's live.
And you will be there Monday.
I'm going to be on there.
It's Monday.
It's right. Exciting.
Yeah.
Live on Facebook.
Yes, sir.
It's a fire podcast. And all the ways you can connect with Pops, it's going to be in the description. Hit the link. Yeah. And hey, man, I ain't got nothing else to say. He said more than enough than I could ever say. And that's why I brought him on. And I just want to say thank you. I'm honored. It's been a privilege to be your pilot on this journey today. Hey, Justin Strickland, the host of The Ladder, your favorite Crew Excellence member. And Pops know, because he talks to y'all grandmas all the time. I'm the favorite, all right? And I'm out, man. Peace. Crew Excellence, another great episode. I'm so honored to be leading the journey you're on. And I just want to let you know, this is what we're building here. We're building a community and an audience and a family that pursues excellence together. And if you want to be part of that family, right, this content's free. You can keep coming over here every Friday, catching a podcast, but we have so much more. First of all, if you join Crew Excellence, you get the podcast on Thursday. Yup, 24 hours early. Second thing, you get part of our private group where we talk about leadership every single day. You get Motivation Monday. You get discounts on merch. Okay. And anytime we have an event, you get first dibs on tickets. So I think that being a part of this community is amazing. There's definitely different levels to it. But hey, if you just watching and you say that ain't for me yet, cool. I appreciate you. Keep watching. Like, comment, subscribe. But if you want to go deeper and you want to be more of a part of a community that loves each other and that pushes each other to be their best self, go ahead, head over to the website, join Crew Excellence. It's a membership site on the site. You can join it and then you get entered right into the community, plugged in. Hey, it's dope over there. I'm talking about fire. You missing out. But hey, I love y'all for whatever you do and however you are a part of Crew Excellence. And I can't wait till next week. Please watch another video. If you missed the episode, tune in because they all fire. All right, man. It's the host who's the most, your favorite Crew Excellence member, and I'm out. Peace.